Brian, congratulations on the show debut and best of luck with everything that comes along. Continue to follow your dreams. That's awesome. I'm going to make an announcement straight out of Rampage just for your show. Here we go. I'm going to get into announcer mode and welcome you to the WSE Lounge. So here we go. Hi, I'm Justin Roberts, and I want to welcome you to the WSE Lounge hosted by Brian Vaughn.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another great edition of the WSE Lounge. Without further ado, he is a producer, a writer, and actor, Jasper Cole, Hollywood's bad guy.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, I still see a dark screen on my end. I don't know what's going on my end, but on my mom's end, she can see you fine, so I don't know what's going on, but we won't worry about it. We'll just continue with the interview.
Okay, sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah, no, that's so funny. My friend Real is saying buy a new iPhone. I have an iPhone 10, I think. It's not that old.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I have an Android, so I don't know if I haven't had any issues with anybody else. That have different phones like iPhones or whatever.
Yeah,
So
somebody's saying it looks a lot better now, so.
okay, well maybe as we go on and progress, your picture will
Yeah.
magically appear on there.
I hope
Okay.
so.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. Okay. So, can you take us through your early life of how you got your big break in Hollywood?
Well, that's interesting. I think a lot of us were still, I don't know if that whole thing about getting your big break, I think it's been a series of breaks just along the way, right? Throughout the course of the career. But I actually started in Atlanta, Georgia, back right where you are.
Uh-huh.
In 1985, I moved there, and I ended up co-writing and co-starring in a little play called Willow Springs Now with a girlfriend of mine at the time, Becky. And long story short, we got it produced in Atlanta, and then we decided let's pack the cars up and move to Hollywood in '87. And we brought the play here and we put it up, and it ran for a couple of years. It was a late night comedy show that we did. And from there, I got an agent, a manager, and just started on this path of theater, which led to TV, film, and it's been a marathon for sure. It's not been a sprint.
Okay. Well, yeah, I know. I know you've been in over 100 something movies and television shows as a villain. Have you always been a bad guy?
No, that's what's funny. The first 10, 15 years of my career, I was just kind of playing the sidekick, the nice guy, the kind of boring, whatever. And then when I turned 40, I don't know, my face changed, my whole look kind of started changing. And so I got it in 2007. I got cast on a series called Prom Queen with Michael Eisner's company. I was playing the
Mm-hmm.
bad, nasty stepfather, and it was my first bad role actually. And I don't know, people liked it, so I kind of leaned into it and grew the hair out and the beard and kind of created a certain look. And thank God I've been blessed now for the last probably 20 years or 15 years to be on this list of, villains and bad guys.
Well, a fan may, and I want to clarify this. Anybody's watching this, you see me looking over to the right. I'm looking at the screen where he's showing up on the camera. My mom set her tablet up, her iPad, so I can see his face. So and also, interact with all you. But I know that in December 2012, a fan had made a internet movie database of the most underrated bad guys, and you were number one on the list.
Oh, wow. That's
Yeah,
nice to hear. I didn't know that.
yeah, I saw that earlier, and I was like, wow, I don't know if he knows that or not. And I want to welcome We're the Tumblins. Welcome, and anybody that has any questions for Jasper, please feel free to ask questions on camera. He'll be taking your questions. And also, anybody just wants to type, you can ask a question in the question box, and I'll ask Jasper. So, okay, the Purge Anarchy, you played a homeless man.
One of my
So,
many homeless men, yes.
yes, so can you tell us how it was, how it felt in that, to get in that emotion and everything to portray that character of a homeless man?
Yeah, I mean, I've been fortunate to play many different homeless guys. I was a
Mm-hmm.
fan of the Purge, the franchise already, and it was a Michael Bay production. I mean, it was a big studio picture. What was a little different about this, this was a really intense guy. This was an intense homeless guy. A lot of the homeless guys I played have been friendly. They've been sort of harmless,
Mm-hmm.
not
Yeah.
not your mean homeless guy. And so I think just being able to work with that cast and crew and the director, um, we shot that in downtown LA, and it was great to be able to bring a little more intensity to a homeless character. Because homeless characters are like everybody. Every character we play has a full dimensional quality to it. I never
Mm-hmm.
think of my characters as being bad people. I think we've made bad choices, or we might have mental illness and stuff like that. But I think in general, I don't try to play the bad part of them. I try to play against it, actually.
I see. I see. So when you're playing a homeless character, you try not to play the bad guy, even though you are Hollywood's bad guy.
Yeah, I mean, I get to within that, I get to play variations of it. I mean, if anyone
Mm-hmm.
knows my real personality, which, I'm much lighter and funnier, I hope, and you know what I mean. I just a lot friendlier. So it's interesting. I've recently started doing voiceover work, and in my voiceover work, I play the nice guy, the friendly guy, my because my voice doesn't always match my look, which
Mm-hmm.
is which kind of has been a blessing at times. There's something in casting called too on the nose, which is like you can almost it's too much. You look mean, you sound mean. So sometimes I might bring a little different quality to the bad guy.
That's wonderful. The way that you phrase that and the way you do that. And Ben Vasquez, hope I pronounced that correctly. You are opposite of a bad guy. He said,
Well, first of all, Ben is a phenomenal actor. Hey, Ben, he just actually has just booked 3 jobs in 1 week. So I take
"Man,
that as a big compliment. Yes.
wow,
Yeah. I mean, he's can't say much about them, but he just did one for Showtime. He's doing one for Fox, and yeah,
hmm."
he's on a roll.
So let's talk about Bad Cop. It's the horror thriller Savage Sisters that you're going to be in upcoming, or you've already been in that.
We still haven't shot that one. It's been a project that's been in development for a while. But Brian, it's
Hmm.
interesting. It's like things find their time when it's the right time, because this is a film about 5 African American women a horror film, and they are the five leads. And it's interesting, when we started trying to sell this about 5 years ago, the
Hmm.
industry wasn't quite ready for it. And you know what I mean in terms of diversity. And
Yes.
any of my African American friends will know that they will get the joke that, they always kill the black people early on in a horror movie, but which
Hmm.
is not always true. But this is actually a unique case where the five leads are black, they're women, they're strong,
Hmm.
and they really kick ass in the movie, and they are the heroines, and they're the heroes, and we're the bad guys. We're the family of like cannibals that are trying to kill them. So the reason I'm excited about this one is that we're sort of catching up with, bringing it into the 21st century of diversity, and making a film look like real America.
That is incredible. I mean, I think any time that you can take a film and make it into where you have diversity and stuff to where the African Americans get like the lead role or something, like for instance, you got Meet the Browns, you got House of Pain, Tyler Perry's produced. You've got a lot of different stuff out there. But the thing is, though, those and the point I'm going with this is those are made up of African American characters. All African American characters. But what you're referring to, it has like African American characters, and it has Caucasian and different backgrounds, different races, and it's great to put the African Americans front and center and show the diversity so everybody can see it here in the 21st century.
Absolutely. America is a melting pot, and TV and film should just reflect how we are in real life. And so having more, Asians and Hispanics and LGBTQ and just everybody, just let it reflect everybody. And I think the industry is really doing a lot better, and I think it's getting,
Mm-hmm.
but I think still with women, men are still making more, per on the dollar than women do. So there's work to be done, but I'm optimistic. I think we're going in the right direction.
Well, not to throw any shades out there or anything, but now unless you're Oprah Winfrey, you know, as you know, Oprah, I know she gets a lot.
Well, it's we need Shonda Rhimes and Oprah and Tyler and we need. It's always about paying it forward, and reaching out and pulling everybody up with you. So I think, and that's true in all the different areas. So it's interesting. Hollywood can be very piecemeal at times. Everybody, even Brian, even who you think are your biggest stars, have their own insecurities, right? It's like we're all waiting for someone to tap us on the shoulder and say, "We figured it out. You're really not that talented. Your time,
Yeah,
your time is up, buddy. There's the door." So, it's a crazy business. It's like we're all kind of hanging on with neuroses and insecurities. I guess that's true of every industry.
yeah. It really is. I mean, and want to let all you fans know that the reason you see me looking closer now is because I've moved the tablet closer where I can see Jasper on the camera. Woo! It almost went over. Don't want
Uh-oh.
that. Okay. Uh, Let me see. Okay, so you were known as, and I believe this in only one episode, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, but you were known as Crackhead Fred in the new age series The Rookie on ABC.
Yes, I was introduced 2 seasons ago as the neighborhood drug dealer Fred. Um,
Uh-huh.
uh, Hoping to come back. Actors will know, all my actor buddies and actresses watching, they know there's this running thing about, oh, we love you, Jasper. We're going to have you back. You know, you're going to be reoccurring. And so I always laugh and go, okay, well, you know, I'll, I'll believe that when I'm back on the set. So, but it's a great show, a great cast of actors, great producers. I've been blessed to work with Danny Cannon and Bruckheimer and that whole crew of producers on several different series over the years. So that's the key. You know, you try to just work and hope that those same producers will hire you again, and it's all about just networking and doing a good job and having a good reputation, not being an a-hole on the set.
Mhm.
You know, being a team player, I think, is really important.
Oh yeah, teamwork is the best. If you ain't got teamwork and everything, you're not a team player. You're gonna probably get booted out the door before you can even start making any money. You know.
Yeah, a lot of actors don't seem to think they don't get that they're we're all replaceable, you know. So and
That's right.
it used to be called a small town because it was LA, but now it's Atlanta, it's New York, it's it's Chicago. It's the industry is spread out all over the country now. So your reputation is really that's all we have, and we have to really protect it.
Yeah, I mean, and I don't want to, I don't want to bring up any controversy or anything, but I just want to say, and I know Jasper and all of you know what I'm talking about, but irreplaceable. Even Will Smith is irreplaceable after what he did, and I won't get into that.
Well, yeah, and everyone knows if you follow my Facebook my opinion was well
Uh,
known at the time. Also, I that was a horrible situation. So
it
hopefully,
really was.
hopefully he's going to learn from that, and he's just really lucky that you know
And now you okay?
it could
There
have
you
gotten
go.
a lot worse for him. That could have escalated really badly.
Oh yeah, it can be a lot worse.
Yeah.
I mean, uh, okay. So anybody's got any questions, please feel free to ask on the camera. Send the invite. I'll get you on camera with Jasper Cole. And the stand for the tablet seemed to stop working, so I'm having to hold it with my hand. So this is a first. So don't worry. We will
We're
we'll
just
get
full
through
of
this
technical
interview.
problems today, but that's okay.
Yeah, we're having all kinds of technical problems, but that is all right. Uh, let's see. Okay, so I want to know how you felt being on Brooklyn Nine-Nine and having an episode named after your character. Because it was called the Oolong Slayer, and you were the Oolong Slayer.
I- Absolutely. That. First of all, that's that was and still is one of my favorite, comedy series. So to get to be on there and to be the Oolong Slayer, that was incredible. I mean, the best part of that is the director was Michael McDonald, who starred on Mad TV for
Uh-huh.
all those years. He plays Stewart, and so for me, it was a blessing because I didn't even know he was directing the episode till I got on the set. So I was fanning out working with him more so than, I mean, listen, I love the cast.
Okay, there you go. Yeah,
To Michael, yeah. But it was a great time.
yeah. Your voice keeps cutting in and out.
Oh, is it better?
Yeah, right. Right now it is, and well, let's see. It cut out again.
I know. I wonder if
Okay.
it probably the Wi-Fi, the
You
Wi-Fi.
know, I bet you that's probably why you're showing up on some people's screens and you're not showing up on others. I bet
Right.
that's what it is.
It's
The
probably the
Wi-Fi.
Wi-Fi. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, does any fans out there have any questions on the camera? I'll be glad to bring you on to talk to Jasper. And in the meantime, uh, Jasper, you have been in a lot of TV shows, Married with Children, Party of Five, Charles in Charge, and others. But my question to you is, what is it like working with famous stars such as Ed O'Neill, who played Al Bundy,
Hmm.
Jennifer Love Hewitt, who played on Party of Five, and Scott Baio, who played on Charles in Charge? Did you get to work with any of them while you appeared on these shows?
Oh, wow. It's so funny because when I go back and look back on all those beginning years, I really wish I had been more present and in the moment. But, I was in my 20s and I was.
You were in your 20s and then your mic went out.
Is that better?
Yes, sir. I can hear you now.
Oh, I was just saying that, I was in my 20s. I don't know if I fully appreciated how lucky I was. I certainly do now that I'm older. But for me, those early jobs was just like I was always sort of on to the next thing. But in the last 10, 15 years, I really relish and, try to cherish every job I get. But yeah, celebrities are just actors like the rest of us. And if you go and watch the trajectory of any of those people you mentioned, Jennifer, Scott, they've all had their ups and
Hmm.
downs. And, they're just trying to get to their next job, basically, like a lot of us actors.
Yes, I agree with that. And let me think. So okay, so let me follow up on that. So how did you how did you feel whenever you had them on? Because I mean, not when you had them on, when they were on the shows with you, and like Ed O'Neill, he moved on to I believe Modern Family. He moved on to that show, and then you had Scott Baio. Uh, he moved on to See Dad Run on Nickelodeon. That was produced by Jason Harvey and Eric Bischoff. And then you had Jennifer Love Hewitt moved on to I Know What You Did Last Summer and The Ghost Whisperer and all this big stuff. I mean, so how did you feel? I mean, looking back years later and saying, wow, they've really come a long way.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm thrilled for them. What happens is this crazy career is you meet all these people along the way. A lot of times you meet actors and you think, oh wow, you probably don't think their career is going to go anywhere, and they explode.
Hmm.
And then you work with these amazing actors who really never get a break, or nothing happens. And that's why I tell actors all the time, it's show business. Talent is probably like 10% of this industry. 90% of it is knowing how to network, market yourself. Just it's a whole other beast, and a lot of actors don't have that other thing that it takes to withstand the rejection. And they have to approach it like a business. A lot of actors think of it as only the craft, and
Hmm.
that's fine if you just want to do theater for the rest of your life in your hometown. There's nothing wrong with it. But if you want to pursue a career where you actually, make a living at it, you got to really approach it as a business. And that's the marketing, the promoting. I mean, now, thank God, with all the tools we have, the internet and YouTube and Instagram, it kind of makes it a lot easier to tell the industry how they should see you, you know, what
Hmm.
lane they should put you in, and kind of carve out your own niche for yourself.
So, do you ever have any actors or actresses that they don't listen to the veteran actors and actresses that have came before them, and they think in their mind, "Oh, I know it all. I can do this. I can do that. I don't need to listen to you." Blah blah blah. You, you ever have that?
Well, yeah, I mean, it that happens. I mean, that can happen with any age, really, but
Hmm.
um I think you got to have that's you make a great point, Brian. You can't have yes people around you. You got to have people that you really they'll tell you when you stepped in it, or when you really fucked up. Excuse me, sorry,
Yeah.
screwed up.
Uh,
Um, they will. You got to have those people around you. You want to find a very close circle of people that you really trust, because there's a lot of wolves along the way. Again, this is true in any business or life in
mhm.
general. But I certainly, when I worked with Sam Elliott and Robert Horton and these veterans, I probably drove them crazy, asking them questions. But I relish in the veterans, because I learn from what they've done and how they handle their career. And so I try to be very accessible to people and other actors, younger actors, when they want to ask my opinion. And I always say, it's my opinion. One
Mhm.
crazy thing about this is the one business where everybody kind of has their own path into how they started, or it's the one business where I can't say go to college, get this degree, do this. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
sure because you interview actors, we all have such bizarre ways that we came into the business.
Yes. There's a lot of bizarre, stories that I've heard over the years, and I mean, so yeah, I mean, every single actor, actress, they do have their own bizarre ways. I mean, of how they got into the business. I
Well,
mean,
yeah,
so
especially
I
with,
mean,
like, reality TV now. You have
yeah.
people coming in from TikTok and the music world, or somebody was just really beautiful and got a break, or some guy was, looked like Brad Pitt and got a break. And so it's all happenstance. Well, I don't know. I don't think there are really any accidents in life, but you know what I mean. It's
Yeah, and a lot of times those people that look like Brad Pitt or they're a beautiful model, whatever, and they get the job, and then you got somebody else that over in the corner, a guy you say, he don't dress right, or he looks like this, and then the woman, she has ugly hair, so you just think that as a producer, and then the thing about it is though, at the end of the day, you realize and you say, "Oh my goodness, this guy looks like Brad Pitt, or this woman looks like a beautiful model. They can't act worth flying flip." But the one that had the awful hair and the guy that dressed funny, he's the best actor I ever seen in about 10 years. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, Hollywood loves to tell everyone what they need to change about themselves. And I look back and I think, I tell people, probably the thing they're telling you need to fix is the one thing you need to leave alone, because that's
Hmm.
what's going to make them unique and stand out. And, the great thing about playing character actors is I don't have any vanity left. I have to look as bad as I can. So in real life, I figure, well, shit. I mean, on
Yeah.
my worst day, I've got to look better than some of the characters I play. People tell me, you look so much better in person. I'm thinking, well, hell, I better, because I don't generally look that good on camera when I'm playing these crazy people.
Hey, speaking speaking of your picture and everything, You're right here on the banner behind us. You can see it up here.
Oh, look at me. I'm up there on the wall of shame.
Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Oh, you're very welcome.
My fellow Georgian. Are you born and raised in Georgia?
Yes, I was.
Uh, I'd love it if you said no. My accent is from New York.
No.
Now you know I'm getting more southern as we talk here, because that's what happens when I get on the phone with family or friends, and I pretty soon I'll just be talking,
Yeah.
really, really,
Well,
really, really southern.
well, I'm not going to I'm not going to give out this person's identity or anything, but I had a close friend of mine that is an actor in Hollywood. He approached me a couple months ago and I need your help. I said, what is it? He said, well, he said, you got this Southern accent. He said, I love it. And he said, I want you to teach me how to talk Southern because I've got to do this audition for this Southern accent. And I said, okay, sure. So, I did that. And, I was honored because my accent took me a long way.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
listen, and there's different southern accents depending on where you live, what part of, there's South Georgia, North Georgia, there's South,
yes.
there's Louisiana. I mean, there's all there's the mountains, so I really don't I do no accents except Southern. I can't do really, I don't have an ear for the other accents, but yeah, I mean, you could have a whole career being a dialect coach for actors.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah,
That'd be pretty cool.
you got the real thing.
Yeah, I appreciate that compliment. I really do.
Well,
I
yeah,
remember.
don't you find most people say, because when I first moved to LA all 35 years ago,
Uh-huh.
everyone loves the Southern, they tend to love a Southern accent. They think I think we seem more accessible and friendlier, and, you know, people like it.
Yeah, and it's just like the Australian accent. I had Nathan Butler on the show one time, actor Nathan Butler, and he says, "Hey, hey, mate, I love your Southern accent," and I said, "Well, I love your Australian accent, mate."
Well, there's a similar lilt to the Southern and the Australians. I think the reason English Australians they do really good Southern accents, because I think there's a similar sound to it a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I can kind of see that.
Yeah.
What was it? What was it like? I want to know what it was that was such an unforgettable stint for you on everybody. Everybody hates Chris. What was it you did that was so unforgettable?
Oh well, I mean, I played the neighborhood crack dealer, but it was fun for me to be. Did so? Oh, I like that someone said unforgettable, because better than forgettable. Um, that's again a chance for me to do comedy, because I when I came to LA with my play, I thought I was going to be a sitcom star, a stand-up
Hmm.
comedian, and but um, that character was great because he lived like down in the subway, and I would just pop up like a Jack in the Box,
Hmm.
and do my scenes and deliver my lines, and it became like a running joke that here he comes again. And I patterned that character kind of like Otis on Andy Griffith, like the
Oh
neighborhood.
yeah, yeah. The
He was
neighborhood
like the
drunk.
neighborhood drunk, the neighborhood guy that
Yeah.
even the police liked. It's like, oh, here he is again. Um, and he was funny and friendly, so that's kind of what I based that on. But again, that was an iconic. Getting to work at Paramount Studios, which is an iconic studio, and me,
Uh,
I was just I loved going there every time I could shoot and working with that cast and all the directors. It's always about really the people you get to work with on these shows and the experience you have. It's so out of our hands, like what ends up in the final cut or how we look in the end. I try to just relish in the time I get to spend doing it.
mhm. Kimberly Lesher says, just wanted to say you're awesome. Thanks for putting so much into your characters.
Oh, well, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thank you. It means a lot. I mean, listen, we do this work to have people enjoy our work, and I never take that for granted. How lucky I am, in of particular, I never take it for granted. Thank you.
Now, you have been a bad cowboy named Reno in popular you've been in popular national direct TV commercials. You were even a pirate in the 1-800 collect commercials. What were what were those like? All of those different things you did.
Well, I have to tell you, commercials have been my lifeline in this business from the time I started. A lot of people don't realize that commercials, the residuals we make on commercials, go toward our health and pension every year. So for a lot of us, like middle of the road, middle class journeyman actors, we've relied on commercials to really sustain us. And so I've been
Mhm.
so blessed. But yeah, so the Fandango was great because that was uh, me playing that one character, and the puppet, the Fandango puppet, was my brother in the spots. So again, it was
Oh
comedic,
wow!
and they ran those also and throughout. I forgot the chain of theaters, but they would run before theaters. Um, I mean, pre-COVID, when people went to the theater.
Hmm.
Um, and then the DirecTV was when Rob Lowe was doing his series of uh, bad decisions he did, and so that was one of those. And then the 1-800, that's where I got to work with this bird, and he's the same bird from the Pirates of the Caribbean movies.
Oh
His name is
wow!
Chip in real
Hmm.
life, and so I didn't know because quite honestly, I had not seen those movies, but it was a big deal, I guess, for them to have this bird. And they brought the bird out on the last shot of the day and they set him on my shoulder. And there was all this like nervousness about, let's just put it this way. The bird was so famous. He had handlers and practically had his own entourage. And the two owners of the bird, they were telling me how friendly he was and he's a great actor. So we did the rehearsal because it's where actors say a line, then I say a line, and I'm supposed to laugh and react to something. And then Chip repeats a line. So we went to the
Uh,
first take and they said action and we went through it. And when we got to him, instead of saying the line, he told us all we could go F ourselves.
oh my goodness!
And so we all started bursting out laughing. And I turned and I was laughing. And he decided to clamp down on my eye and just grabbed a hold of my eye with his beak and was biting, my damn eye. And people like
Yeah,
panicked. It was like pandemonium.
goodness!
And blood was pouring out and the two owners were like freaking out and I had no idea like
Oh my
I was,
goodness!
I was like, oh shit, did I literally just go blind, for a commercial? But thankfully, long story short, I ended up with just like a cut. But it was really, I mean, it could have been a bad situation. And
Yes.
so that's obviously I'll never forget doing that. The commercial turned out great. But because of that bird and his following, on social media, I probably got more attention for being in that movie, in that, you know, in the commercial with this famous bird than
Yeah,
anything. So that just goes to show you, you can't plan that kind of stuff. You know, it just shit happens, as they say.
man, that's a pretty funny story, but it could have also turned into far worse, you know. But it's thankfully you're okay, you know.
Well, and you know, Brian, a lot of people, I'm not saying it's wrong, are very
Uh,
immediately calling their attorneys, like, you know, lawsuits. So the clients, the people from, you know, from 1-800, everybody was like, Jasper, are you okay? They just, I think they just were like amazed that I was like, no, it's fine. I'm so, you know, I'm
yeah.
okay. I'm going to let it go for now. But it could have been a lot worse. But yeah, all's well that ends well.
When you were on Baywatch, I know you wasn't on the TV show Baywatch, but you were on like a movie or something they did.
Like a TV movie.
Yes, sir. So when you were on there, did you ever have any interaction with David Hasselhoff or Pamela Anderson? Did you get to meet them?
No, you would. So, Brian, this was actually when Parker Stevenson did the original, when it was a pilot in a TV movie. Hasselhoff
Oh,
wasn't even
wow.
on. Yeah, this was back when it started as a TV movie. It was, remember
Uh-huh.
Parker Stevenson from the Hardy Boys? That he
I
was
I
married to
believe so.
Kirstie Alley, but that was
Yes, I remember Christy Alley.
yeah, they were married at the time. And for my generation, like the Hardy Boys was a detective series with Sean Cassidy. Wow, I'm really dating myself. It was
Now, Sean Cassidy, is that the one that played on General Hospital?
Sean Cassidy. I
No, he played. Never mind. I'm thinking of the character Sean Donnelly on
Oh,
GH.
okay. Well, Sean
The guy that
Cassidy
died.
was his mother is Shirley Jones from the
Uh-huh.
Partridge Family. David Cassidy was his stepbrother. But ironically, Sean Cassidy went on to become a really big TV producer, um, and still is actually. But so yeah, so that was sort of the Baywatch pilot before
Uh-huh.
it actually became a hit series. And I mean, I had a tiny thing on there, but again, you know, 24, 24, and again, we didn't know what it was, so it hadn't become a big deal yet. For me, it was just another. It was fun to shoot down on the beach in Santa Monica for a couple of days, and then of course, it went on to become this iconic series.
Yeah, that song. I love that theme song.
Yeah.
That
Oh yeah.
I'll be there for you. I mean, no, that's
That's
Friends.
Friends. But yeah, I'm
Um,
trying to remember.
it goes.
This was.
Let's see. I think it goes. I'm always ready. Won't let you out of my sight.
Yeah, it's an icon. I
Yeah,
forgot the group that sings it, but
yeah.
they made a fortune on the for that getting paid for that theme song. That's for sure.
Okay. Let me back up a little bit because we got several fans that have asked questions, and I don't want to skip over everybody. Purple Boot said, "What movie are you doing next?" And we will actually. So Jasper don't have to answer that. We will answer that question in just a little bit. We'll be talking about his upcoming movies he has. So we will get to that. We will address that. Um, and then we are the Tomlin says, people follow birds on social media. That's wild. And then Trey Madison says, who did you like working with the most and the least?
Oh wow. Um, well, I've been blessed with a lot of great people, but I always say Sam Elliott. I did a TV pilot in 1998 called Texarkana with
Mm-hmm.
Sam Elliott, and he's just the best, and sort of has remained in my mind a mentor. Oh wow, you know, I couldn't say the least. I mean, honestly, I've been so lucky to I can't even really. No, I've not had any horrible experiences with other actors. I mean, I've been blessed. I mean, maybe it was going on around me, but I I've never had a really bad experience with another actor. So, and trust me, I would
Wow.
tell you, I'm too old now and don't care. So I would tell you if there was somebody that I'd put them on blast. So, there's not really anybody that I didn't enjoy working with. Some more than others, obviously. You find out like in life, every actor has their own personality, their own process. You just, give them their space. And yeah, I don't think acting is brain surgery. I
Mhm.
don't overthink it. I think a lot of it is just listening, reacting in the moment, being real. Um, but other people have their own process of the method and a lot of stuff they do before they get to the set. I'm the type actor, I can be in an intense scene, they can say cut, and I can be cracking up, laughing, and on my phone. I mean, I'm lucky that way.
Mhm.
Yeah. But thanks for question. But yes, Sam Elliott for me is definitely one of my favorite experiences.
Now,
Also on MacGruber. Okay, also
uh,
on MacGruber. I loved working with Val Kilmer, but really Will Forte is just one of the most underrated, really guys in the business. He's so talented, but he's such a great person. Yeah.
awesome. Yeah, I seen you with your guns and everything shooting up there, and then they shot you
Oh man, I'm
on the
telling you,
groove.
I I've I've shot so many guns in my career, and in real life, I think I shot one shotgun as a kid. But at this whole recently, so after the whole debacle with Alec Baldwin and Rust in
Uh,
the I
yes.
recently so I went and did a movie in July in upstate New York, and that was my first time on the set with guns since all that happened. Man, Brian,
Mhm.
it's changed. I mean, it was like three sheriff's departments, the police department was there, four armories, on the set. Uh, it was it was so heavy duty protected that I got nervous just having to. This is the first time I've held the gun on a set since all that happened. All the years before, I just felt so safe. I never questioned it. When they would hand me the gun, I just assumed everyone did their job. I never gave it a second thought. So
Uh,
this time I really was. It's a different world now when you're dealing with the guns on sets, which is good. It needs to be.
wow, that is that's really incredible. After that happened, that they now have to have the police out there and everything else to keep an eye on everything. I mean, but it's for everybody's own safety. So
Yeah.
not like that happens again.
I mean, hopefully it'll stay that way. What tends to happen is the longer we get away from an incident, right? Then we all kind of things go back to being a little more lax. But I know for me, for myself now, I will never take for granted. So if I'm handing a gun, you know what I mean, I will double check over and over again to make sure it's safe. But like I said, I just in the past I just would never think twice because I just assumed everybody had done their job. But accidents happen.
Yeah, most definitely. So I know you were on Victorious, and
Like
I saw your clip.
Oswald.
Yes, Oswald, and I saw your clip on Victorious. I used to watch Victorious all the time when it came on, and I wanted to know how it was for you working alongside Victoria Justice.
Oh, she's a sweetheart. She was a sweetheart. Here's the irony. The funny thing about that whole situation is the person
Mhm.
that really became the star is Ariana Grande. So what people may forget is Ariana was the sidekick. She played Victoria's best friend. She had a
Yeah,
really, really high voice with
yeah,
the colored hair and everything, and you know she was a little more Zoftic and much more charactery and comedic. And
hmm
it's just funny because fast forward like 5 years later, right? And I hear about this girl Ariana Grande. I don't know who she is, and she's totally unrecognizable from Victorious, you know.
hmm
So she's gone on to have an amazing career. But yeah, Victoria Justice is a sweetheart. She was really great to work with. That's just an example where there she was the lead, and Ariana had been supporting, and now Ariana is a superstar, and Victoria's like doing her thing, you know, back out there on pounding the pavement with everybody else.
Yeah, she's made a couple movies. Victoria has I think there's been one or two that come out on Netflix, and some that's come out on DVD. So she's still doing
Oh yeah.
movie stuff, but I haven't seen her doing more TV shows or anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know at the time if you had asked Ariana Grande. I mean, she had no clue she would become a
Yeah,
again of this crazy business.
it is, it really is. So you've been in 18 again with Zac Efron, Friday the 13th, Part 8, and we already talked about McGruber. So you've been in those. So can you tell me about those experiences? Had to be fascinating for sure. I'm sure, and we've already talked about McGruber. But what was it like for you being in Friday 13th, Part 8, and also 18 again with Zac Efron?
Well, 18 again was great because that was George Burns was starring in that with Charlie Slaughter at the time, the little he was
Hmm
the male lead. Um, I didn't work with George, but I got to be around at the time, and that was incredible because again, you know, I think it was like one of my first or second, third experiences on a big movie set. Charlie
Uh-huh.
Slaughter went on to do Diagnosis Murder for all those seasons with Dick Van Dyke, so that's where you know most people probably know him from. Um, but but yeah, that's again one of those early experiences where I can look back now on it and say, wow, that was a big studio picture and what an amazing time. And I'm sorry, what was the other project you asked me?
Friday the 13th, 8.
Oh, Friday the 13th. So, you know, I was cut out of Friday. I filmed that, but that's the example where I was cut out. I didn't make it to the final cut. That's why a lot of times it'll say uncredited. But being a huge fan of that entire
Mm-hmm.
franchise, I grew up watching. I was a horror film freak, loved it. Um, that was again like a dream come true, just to be working with that director and being to be able to say I was associated with the film is always it's interesting because horror films are so loyal and so great that that was probably the first time I had any horror work. And then over the years, people always, you know, ask me about it. I mean, unfortunately, like I said, I'm not in the final cut, but that's what happens. As I was saying earlier, we have no control over. That's even to this day, even at this point in my career, I shoot something and I always say, well, you know, hopefully I make the cut. Um,
Yeah,
you just never know. It's a crapshoot.
yeah, that's sad when you do that. You put all your work into it and everything, and then you get pulled from it.
Well, that's my point. I always say to people, just try to make it about the experience of doing it. You know, really take in the moment. enjoy what you're, learn from it, because it's kind of out of our hands. Film and TV is a director, really a producer director medium. Theater is the one medium where, as actors, from the moment we walk out on stage, we sort of control what's happening. But TV and film, we're kind of at the mercy of the editors and the studio and the network, and
Yeah.
test audiences. They test it, and if the audience doesn't like you, or you get bad remarks, they'll cut you out, or it's just so many things out of our control.
That reminds me, when I was in high school, I was in drama class, and I was going to be playing this lawyer that got on stage and pretended to drink a beer or whatever. And I think also smoke a cigar or whatever. So I went to play practice every day, and everybody else did too. Well, then one day the drama teacher comes in there, and the people that went to play practice, I would average to be about maybe 4 to 6 people. So the drama teacher comes there one day and he says, "Y'all can all go home." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Well, play's canceled." I said, "What do you mean it's canceled?" He said, "Well, not enough people showed up to practice, so whole thing's canceled. Y'all out the door." I said, "That's stupid, but you know,
Wow.
so
Yeah.
it happens.
Well, Broadway shows, they'll work a year putting on a Broadway show. They
Mm,
open sometimes, but you can get one bad. If the reviews are terrible, they'll close in 2 weeks. It's
wow.
amazing the amount of money that gets spent in productions and stuff. But thank God now for TV and film. The streamers. There's so many platforms now for
Hmm.
us to have our work. So it's uh, back in the day when you had 3 networks of TV. Um, they didn't even have to tell you were cut out. Now our union requires that if you've been cut out of something, you're supposed to get notice ahead of time so that you're not in it. Because back in the day, I would, you tell your family and friends, "Oh, I'm on this show Thursday night," and then everybody tunes in. They're like, "Jasper, are you high? What happened? You're not
Yeah.
in the show." Yeah,
Mm.
that happened a few times.
Yeah. I'm glad they got it set up now to where they tell y'all if, you're not in the movie or television show or commercial after you shot it.
The key, let me tell you, Brian, the key is, even if you're cut out, if you can remain, if they keep you in the credits, if it's a gift from the producers, if they at least put your character and name, we still get paid, so we still get residuals. So there have been times where that's happened. That's a blessing, because well, even like in the Purge Anarchy, so much of my part was cut, so much of it, but just enough remained that I made the credit list, so I continue to get paid for it. Thank God.
Well, that's wonderful. That
Yeah.
is wonderful.
And
Uh,
that's at the producer's discretion. So if that happens to you, that's a gift from, that's their way of saying, "We appreciate what you did. It wasn't your fault. We had to cut it, blah, 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 whatever."
okay. Trey Madison says, "What TV shows or series are you watching now?"
Oh, thanks, Trey. Well, on the comedy side, I love Hacks. Hacks on HBO Max with Gene Smart. I
Hmm.
think it's one of the funniest shows ever. But this is what's weird. I'm a big docu-series person. I'm a documentary guy. I like reality TV. I don't know if it's because I work in the scripted world that I don't tend to watch as much scripted television. I I will choose a docu-series or a real life documentary over like a scripted show. So
Hmm.
there's so many great scripted shows. There's not a drama right now that I'm really watching, but Hacks is the one. Oh, the morning show with Reese Witherspoon and Jennifer Aniston. That's an incredible show. And Hacks, and I think probably those are the two that I look forward to. Well, the Family Business that I'm in on BET, and I'm giving that shameless plug, but actually I watched the Family Business before I joined in season 3 anyway. So um, I do like that show and liked it before I was on it. But I love all the docuseries.
Okay, and DeFatro says the morning show loved that show.
Oh, amazing, right? I mean, that's every actor, every small part, down to the smallest part, is brilliantly cast in that.
And folks, I want to let you know if you're just now joining, the reason you see me looking off to the right is because Jasper Cole's uh, camera is not showing up on my end, so I'm having to look at a tablet to see his face, and I'm hearing his voice as well on my end. And also, if you want to ask him questions on camera, like we are, you can press the request button to ask him a question, and I'll put you on with Jasper, and you can ask him a question on camera, or you can type that like the other fans have, and you can ask him a question through the comments.
Yeah,
Okay.
everybody, I screwed up in the very beginning. Jasper couldn't get his damn iPhone to work properly. I think I jinxed poor Brian. I think I jinxed his tablet. So we're making it work.
Yeah, we're getting there. We Are the Tomlin says, tell him to watch the rehearsal on HBO Max.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, people have really been recommending that. Absolutely. I got to check that out for sure. There's also Barry, the series that, oh my God, I'm blanking on his name, from SNL. Henry Winkler plays the acting teacher on that. That's a good show as well. See,
Cool. Yeah,
I tend to go toward the comedies. Yeah,
yeah. I love Henry Winkler as the Fonz, and he's such an icon, such a legend.
great guy. I did have, I did get to work briefly with him. I forgot about him. We were working on a project that never came together, but we got to, we tried to produce something. And now you want to talk about somebody that's nothing like the character he played as Fonz, right? He's like the
Hmm.
nicest, just not that the Fonz wasn't nice, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
There's really nothing badass or tough about Henry like the Fonz was.
Yeah, your mic went out again.
Oh, am I back?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry about that.
Let's see. Hello, blessings. I am from Pakistan, brother. Evangelist Danish.
What was there a question?
No, it's just somebody saying hello, blessing. I am from
Oh,
Pakistan, brother.
oh, hey, how are you? Thank you for that. Appreciate it. Thanks for joining us.
I was gonna ask you, Jasper. Did you ever get the honor to work with or meet the late great one of my favorite actors of all time, John Ritter?
You know what? I did not. I have a dear friend, Suze Lanier, from The Hills
Hmm.
Have Eyes and all these great. A lot of people don't know they did 3 pilots. They did 3 pilots of Three's Company. She played Chrissy on the second pilot. Before there was the first one, a second one, and then Suzanne Summers got the third one. But she's the only person I know that actually worked with him back in the beginning years. But he was beloved by everybody. I mean, I never had the great
Wow.
pleasure of meeting. I did never even met him. I like his son, Jason, as well. Um,
Yeah.
and then Jason's married to Melanie Linsky, who's getting great reviews on Yellow Jackets right now, that show. And she was on Two and a Half Men and lots of other stuff, but great
So
family.
there's a show called Yellow Jackets. You sure not Yellowstone?
Well, there's Yellowstone, yeah, and
Okay.
I've been auditioning a lot lately for that show. But Yellow Jackets is Christina Ricci. Um,
Uh,
it's it's on either the streamers or HBO or Showtime. But Melanie was just Emmy nominated for that,
okay. Yeah, I remember Christina Ricci. She started out on Casper. Remember that the Friendly Ghost, the movie?
and the Addams Family and
Yeah, the Addams
Mermaid.
Family. Yeah, she's
Yes,
been in a lot of movies.
she was a child
And
actress. Yeah.
yes, and Evangelist Danish says we need your prayer for orphans, children.
Oh, absolutely.
We are all family in Christ. Amen.
Thank you. God bless you.
We are the Talmud. Says Yellow Jackets doesn't seem like your type of show, Brian. LOL. I've never even heard of Yellow Jackets to just now. We are the Talmud. So
Well, and I really don't watch it either, but I just know I've got my brain is full of too much like showbiz. But I do think as actors, it's our job to sort of know what shows are out there. I mean, God, now, like I said, it's so hard to keep up with all the
yeah,
streaming shows, but I like to at least know what the shows are because I still audition for all these projects, and so like for example, Yellowstone. Now, there's an example. That's the team, the same caster who did Westworld, and you know, you, you just and they do 1883 now. That's a new one.
mhm.
I've been blessed to get to keep going in for these same shows over. What happens is you go in a lot for these shows, and they just keep trying to find the right part for you. Sometimes it may or may not happen, but you move on to their next production and they bring you in for stuff again. So I tell actors all the time, trust me, if you're stinking up the room, I mean, if you're doing a bad job, they're not going to have you audition twice or come in for other shows. But if they're bringing you back over and over, they like what you're doing.
And Dominico Marotta, welcome to the show. Welcome to the Instagram Live.
Hi,
And let's
welcome.
see here. Uh, so let's discuss Fall. What an action-packed looking film. I seen the trailer earlier,
Oh
and
yeah,
oh man, that looks like it is good. Now I haven't seen it yet, but I'm going to surely check it out.
man, I'm telling you, Brian. And if you have a fear of heights, get ready because it will mess with you. It is. I finally
Oh,
got to.
I do have Fear Heights.
Oh, me too. And I finally went to see it in the theater because they didn't do screenings or anything. So I was blown away by Scott Mann, the director, and what
Uh,
what the team did with this. I mean, let me just say I've done so many projects, but this is going to be one of my favorites because the two lead actresses carry this whole movie literally on their back. I mean, there's only like four or five other actors, and we come into the movie at various times, but they are strapped and harnessed up on top of this tower for 85% of the movie. You can't believe what they're
wow.
able to do with the premise, and I'm just so happy because we started shooting this in August of 2020. It was my first job during the pandemic, and really didn't know what we were shooting, what it was going to be, and then a year later came back in 2021 and shot more footage, never really knowing again if it would ever see the light of day. Now here we are, Lionsgate buys it. It opens in the theaters, which never happens anymore, and it became this like surprise summer hit. It costs $2 to $3 million to make, and it's already made like 14 million worldwide. So
Man.
it's been
So
an amazing
did they
ride.
do did they do their own stunts in this, or have stunt double?
99.9%. It's amazing
Man,
what they do. I mean,
amazing.
when you see the movie, just know that those two actresses literally are harnessed in, and they built this big tower in the desert here out in the Palmdale, and they were climbing it every day and climbing down. And think about the camera work that went into having the camera crew up there, and then what they were able to do in post production with CGI and everything. It's really amazing.
Okay, folks, I'm going to lay the tablet down now because I'm getting tired of looking over to the right. So even though I can't see Jasper, I know he's there. So hearing him talk. So I'm going to pin the interview this way.
Well, it's great because you're looking right at me.
Yeah, my hand was getting sore from holding that thing.
I know. I've got mine propped up on a chair.
Yeah, I had that one on a stand, but it didn't want to cooperate, kept falling off. So anyway, technology is crazy sometimes. And
I'm
let's
sitting on the
see.
floor.
Oh wow. Uh Tofita says congratulations, and Purple Bleep says awesome.
Thank you so much. Hopefully they'll get to see Fall. I know it's going to be coming out on, I mean, I'm sure it's going to come out on a streamer, eventually. Right now it's still in the theaters. Although some of my European fans, I don't
Hmm.
like to say fans. I don't like that word. Supporters, people, they've been seeing it in London and parts of Europe already on certain apps. They're already watching it outside the theater. Although this is one I have to tell you, if you can see it on the bigger screen, it really makes a difference because of all the special effects.
Cool. Yeah, that sounds so neat. I mean, I because I seen the trailer and I was just blown away. I was like, wow, this is really action packed.
Yeah. And
Very.
again, all shot during COVID with the mask and the testing and not knowing what we were, getting involved in. It was a really scary kind of time. So, hats off to everybody who kept us safe. And, the whole COVID thing added six figures to the budgets of projects. Just the amount of money had to go into testing and hiring the COVID compliance officers. And I just produced a TV movie, a Christmas movie, and it added so much money to the budget, just having to comply with everything. So crazy times it was.
Okay, we got a request for a question. Okay, let's see. Kimberly Lesher, who asked a question earlier, says, "What is the one thing in acting that you haven't done would you like to do that you would like to do?"
Well, what I'd really love to do, I've been putting that out there to the universe. I want to be a regular on one of the episodic, dramatic, procedural kind of shows, but I want to play like an undercover cop where I actually can go out and play all these different characters that I now play: drug dealer, drug addict, homeless person. I can sort of be that on the show, but I'm actually one of the cops or one of the detectives. So I'm just, I do these interviews and I just keep putting that out to the universe. Like, Jasper wants to be I want to be like third, fourth, fifth banana on a show. I don't want to work that hard, but like,
Hmm.
2 days a week would be great. 3 days a week. People, let me tell you, I mean, it's not digging ditches, but it's more about the hours that we put in on these 1 hour shows. It could be 16 hours a day. It takes 7 to 10 days, sometimes 14 days to film one episode. So,
Hmm.
but that's when if you're part of an ensemble, it's great because no one is really carrying the whole load of the show.
Okay, now you are known, and I've never seen this show before. I've never heard of this show, but it is a popular show. You're known as Corey Black on the hit BET show, The Family Business. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, so the family business stars Ernie Hudson from the Ghostbusters, and this is a few times you've ever seen Ernie playing a dramatic role. It's basically the story of a very wealthy, successful African American family in New York,
Hmm.
and by day they own an exotic car dealership, very high end cars, but they're really drug cartels. They're one of the biggest drug cartel families.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and so L.C. Duncan, that's Ernie's character, he has a council of men that are represent variations of his drug dealers. Corey is the Philadelphia biker gang. I run a biker gang in Philadelphia, and I came in third season introducing a new drug to
Hmm.
the fold, and LC and I butted heads, and so season 4, which just started September 1st, we pick up from there, and it's a crazy season. Corey really is not a good person, but it's great. You know what it is? It's kind of a combination of a dynasty mixed
Hmm.
in with like a Miami Vice. So you've got like a lot of women watch the show because of the fashion and the glamour and
Hmm.
the glitz, and then you've got a lot of great guys like it because of all the fights and the shooting and the drug dealing and all that stuff. So it's a
Hmm.
nice blend of these two kind of genres. And quite honestly, I generally get killed in everything I do. So the running joke was I couldn't believe I survived season 3. Jasper actually made it to a second year on the show.
So, are there cops in the show?
Yeah, I mean, there's always the cops that are pursuing, the the bad dealings that are going on, but there's a lot of fighting just amongst the rival drug dealing and stuff like that. So it's yeah, check it out. It's Thursday nights. Right. So what they do is they put it on BET Plus, which is the streamer, and
Uh-huh.
then it always ends up going to BET, the regular cable channel. That's
Okay.
Yeah. So like
I try to
season
check it
three,
out.
season three's on BET regular now. Season 4 is on the streamer, and in about 3 or 4 months they'll put season 4 on BET.
Okay, so you mentioned Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Is that from the original Ghostbusters?
Yeah. So he's the African
I know who you're
American.
talking about. He's got a he had a black mustache and a curly
Yeah.
hair.
Yeah, that's so he's also was on
Oh,
Grace and Frankie with Jane Fonda and Lily Tomlin,
yeah.
and yeah, it's just most people think of him as comedy, and it's been great to see him play
Hmm.
this really nasty, mean character. I'm gonna have to remember now. I've got to put him in the Sam Elliott category. I'm gonna say Ernie's my newest favorite veteran to work with. He's another one that just cool as a cucumber, greatest guy, sets the tone on the set. Really cool, really great.
And now this is funny. Kimberly Lesher says it'd actually be cool to see you on the Rookie. Actually, he was on the Rookie.
Oh yeah, so I thank you. I play Crackhead Fred on there, and they said they're gonna. We were laughing earlier that they were gonna bring me back. In fact, my wife's name was supposed to be Wilma, like the Flintstones, Fred and Wilma.
Yeah.
Um, but so far that hasn't happened. But you know what? It can happen. So Crackhead Fred may be coming back.
All right. Well, that'll be interesting to see. And To Topetro says he also was on Hand That Rocks the Cradle. Loved him in Hand That Rocks Cradle. He's talking about Ernie.
Oh yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. Ernie's the OG. I mean, he's got God knows how many credits, but yeah. Well, listen, unfortunately, I have to actually go to work. So I wanted to
okay.
I wanted to thank everyone and just mention again that, fall is out there and family business is on BET. I have a Christmas movie coming out November 1st. Again, BET is very good to me. Um, on BET, and then Kombucha Cure is a comedy series that I'm co-starring in that I produced. That's going to be on Amazon Prime in the next few months, and that's it's kind of like a Northern Exposure back in the day. That's a
Okay. Yeah,
quirky
I
comedy.
remember the Northern Exposure.
Yeah, and I play Theo. I play a fun kind of Army veteran that's got a pet pig, and he's a funny guy, and I'm
Hmm.
not killing anybody in it. So, but people can go to jaspercole.com and follow me. And Brian, it is such a get to spend time with a fellow Southerner has been a real honor.
Well, thank you so much, Jasper, for being on. It was honor to have you on the WSE Lounge, and sorry about the technical difficulty, but
Listen,
we
I
got through it. You know.
apologize. I apologize, but we made it work. And thank you to everybody who tuned in. It's really, I just never take your support for granted. And hopefully I'll just work till I drop. So, you know.
Well, you take it easy, and I wish you the best in your continued career, and I'll keep up with you on Instagram.
Me too, buddy. Thank you guys. Thank you so much.
You too, and
Take
I'll have
care.
the show on IGTV, the WSC Lounge YouTube channel, and it will be on the WSC Lounge group on Facebook. Everyone, so you can check that out. And give me just a second. Go ahead and let the closing go ahead and go on here. Let's see.
What's up, everybody? It's the Hollywood hunk, Ryan Nemeth, being paid lounge. And when you're done with this episode, head over to Vimeo, watch my film, Heal, or head over to shopaew.com on Pro Wrestling Tees, grab a Hollywood hunk t-shirt, or don't do any of that. I don't care.